So I was actually trying to look up, because of the whole walkout thing, like how many times have Democrats walked out and how many times have Republicans walked out of just various things throughout the years. And so I was using Google and ChatGPT, and they kept giving me wrong answers. So I'll show you just some of the examples that it gave me. So this was telling me that in 2011, Indiana had a Republican walkout, right? So it says in 2011, Indiana House Republicans staged a walkout to protest a right to work bill aimed at removing the legal requirement for employees to pay union dues, blah, 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 right? Clearly it says House Republicans staged a walkout. So I wanted to verify, because I'm not just going to, take their word for it. So verifying this, I was looking up, okay, well, what actually happened in the 2011 Indiana walkout? And turns out it was not an Indiana Republican walkout, but it was an Indiana Democrat walkout. And here we can look at, right here. So it says March 2011, Indiana. So this is really tricky because this is where people get confused. So it says party in control of chamber over on this column, and it says Republican, right? So people would look at that and be like, oh, it was a Republican walkout. No, you actually have to take the opposite, because if they're in control, then that means that the Democrats are trying to stop something because they don't have the votes for it. So it was actually a Democrat walkout. And then there was a couple articles. I didn't send them over, but there was articles about this specific one and all the other specific ones. And it clearly says that Democrats staged the walkout. You can go look it up for yourself. But that kept happening over and over again. So it said it about the Wisconsin. It said it about a couple other ones on here. And I would even say, like, so this is me. My hand gets cut off, but me writing to chat, it's saying that the Indiana one was a Democratic walkout, not a Republican one. And then it would just answer me like this: you're right to question that the 2011 Indiana walkout was actually Democrats fleeing the legislature, not Republicans. Thanks for catching that. And this happened over and over and over and again. And it even happened on Google. I wish I would have taken screenshots of that one. But I was Googling the same questions, like how many times have Republicans walked out, or how many times have the GOP staged a walkout? And it would list these same ones: Indiana, Wisconsin. I forget the other ones, but there was a few other ones where if you look into each one specifically, you will see that it was not the GOP. It was the Democrats. So it's just really strange that Chat and Google are giving wrong, like straight up wrong information. And to anybody who's just, looking things up real quick to get a quick answer, you might just look at that and be like, oh, okay, and take their word for it. So just be really careful when you're doing research and double check everything, because these kinds of things are happening. And if it happened here, then it's definitely happening in other places too. So yeah, I just thought that was crazy that kept happening with Chat and with Google. Supposed to be like, especially Google is supposed to be like this reliable source of information, right? And like, no, it was giving me the same things. It was completely changing Republicans and Democrats. And it's like, is this the algorithm and trying to make people think that Republicans have done this just as much as Democrats to make it seem like not such a big deal that the Democrats are doing it now? Because like, if you really look into it, Democrats have done it so many times, and Republicans have mainly just done it in one state, which is Oregon, the 2019 being the most notable one because it lasted the longest. But it's pretty concentrated just to the Republicans in Oregon, whereas the Democrats seem to do this across the board in so many different states. So I don't know if that's what that's about, but go look it up yourself and see what results you guys get on Google or on Chat, and let us know, because I want to know if this was like my algorithm and how it's like trying to feed me wrong information, or if that's just what it's doing to everyone. But yeah, I thought that was really interesting, and just a reminder to always look further into things, because we could be getting fed wrong information even when we're doing the research.
That's right. You got to research your research.
Yeah.
It's so interesting. It's like, the story we just watched earlier from CBS. It's like they're doing this. So it's going to reduce carbon footprint. But how? Like, you got to go look into like what is behind the story here. It's like, and I feel like this is what they do, like to your point about how they say, here's the results. Most people don't read past the headline.
Right. They won't go look into it. They'll be like, oh, chat told me that, Republicans have walked out just as much as Democrats in all of these instances.
And they'll move right on. They'll think that was the research.
You're dumb. You didn't do research. Like, you're dumb.
Right. I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but I think it's like nearly 100% of my personal anecdotal experience of when people go, this or that. Did you hear Trump did this or did you hear this, that? And then they send you the article. Right.
Oh, yeah.
And
then you actually read it.
Yeah. Like anytime your Democrat friends send you an article saying this is going to destroy the economy or whatever, and you're like, oh, wow, let me send me the article. And then you read the article. And what does it say? Usually, like I said, almost 100% of the time, the article either just doesn't say that. Like the headline reads that, and then it gives some what experts say and yada, yada, yada. But then at some point, it'll say something completely different. It's like,
or an added detail that completely changes the context.
Right. Like saying like, well, this is all based on this guy's opinion. It's like, okay, well, it's that guy's opinion, or this group of people say this. So you wrote this whole article telling me this is the objective truth, when right here at this part 3, and it's usually like the 5th or 6th, down the line, a couple pages scroll down, it says this is all based on their opinion. Their professional opinion.
Like, I remember,
you tell me this is facts, and then you're saying it's based on opinion.
That I was having an argument with somebody about, illegals and all of that, and how there's been much crime, and we need, justice for all of our women and children who have been hurt by illegals, raped and murdered, and all of that. And somebody sent me an article and said, because I had mentioned Laken Riley, and sent me an article saying that her dad doesn't like that her name is being used for political purposes, right? And that's like the headline, right? It's something along those lines. And I actually read the whole article, and like he had mentioned something like he doesn't like that, it's become so political. But in the article, it also said that he voted for Trump and supports Trump's agenda to deport illegals to stop this problem. And then not to mention that her mom, and I think it was like her brother or sister or somebody else in her family, actually was brought up on stage with Trump at a rally in support of all of this. So like their point was that like the families of these victims don't support this, what you're talking about. But then like you actually read the article, and it's like maybe one part of it was something that was something they said, but then in context, like, okay, they voted for Trump, they're standing with Trump on stage, like they're obviously supporting what he's calling for. Man, and so like your point doesn't make any sense.
Should have pulled this up, because I believe there was a part where he actually did say he appreciated that they were bringing attention to this, and that his daughter's death wasn't in vain. He didn't nobody wants
that it's being used for political purposes or whatever.
Nobody wants to be paraded around,
right? But then he did appreciate that the story is being used to stop the problem.
Right. To bring justice for his daughter, so that doesn't help to anyone. So he it straight up said that he was happy about that.
And every single time we're like, did you even read this article that you sent me?
Right. Oh, yeah. And it's just real quick, I don't want to spend too much time on it, but remember, so when Sound of Freedom came out, there was this article that came out. Oh, yeah. And my dad sent this to me. He was like, hey, this movie you want me to go see is it said like a major financier of Sound of Freedom is busted for kidnapping. And like there's so many problems wrong with that article, but then they changed it the next day. Luckily I screenshotted this, so I could have pulled this up. Maybe we'll do it on another different episode, but and then I sent it back to him, like, say, hey, they changed it. It said Now, if you read it today, it just says a financier, and all it was somebody who had contributed to
donated
to a
and
GoFundMe.
Not only that, but wasn't the story that the dude was the owner of an apartment complex where somebody living in that apartment complex was kidnapping like their niece or something like that? Like it wasn't.
It was a domestic dispute.
It wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't like they were.
It was a custody dispute over two parents, and he was allowing them to stay there.
He was the.
So he was in the middle of a technical.
It's not like he went out and kidnapped anybody. So like,
well, yeah, that wasn't, and there were so many things wrong with that, but that wasn't even the story. The story about what I'm getting at is, remember when we went to go eat with some friends, and someone goes, "Oh, I heard that one of the executive producers or somebody in the film
just make up like this,"
and then they're like, "I heard that the guy kidnapped somebody." I'm like, where did you hear that? I don't know. I just read the headline.
Right.
Remember it? It was like, wow. It was like a sign from God.
Like so like they throw you off. They're so what's the word? They're not true.
Yeah, they're deceiving, misleading. It's so deceptive. Like they throw it out there it says one thing, but then do the research, guys, because you read the whole article, because usually, like I'm telling you, 90 to 100% of the time it actually says the opposite, or it's something that you can go back and go, hey, look, it doesn't say that.
This was not a good representation.
They know what they're doing. The headline says one thing, and then the article says something else.
Yeah, beware of the headline.